Hello, and welcome to our yoga routine. My name is Amanda, and we are going to be doing a gentle beginner flow today. So, if this is your first time on the mat, or you're just thinking about maybe starting your own daily yoga practice, then this is the routine for you. So, feel free to grab a mat and join me in a second. Alrighty, so we're going to get started sitting in a nice, easy sit pose, whatever that means for you. If that means crisscross applesauce, go for it. If that means one shin in front of the other shin, also fine. If you need to prop yourself up on a block to make that a little bit more accessible, feel free to do that too. We're just going to start by setting our breath. So in yoga, it's very important to really move with the breath. And so we always start by just setting our breath. I'm just going to take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Inhale again and exhale. We're going to do this a few more times on our own. And then we're going to start incorporating some movement into it. So we'll move on each inhale and exhale. I'll remember to let you know when you should be inhaling or exhaling as we make our movements. So we're going to inhale and bring our shoulders up to our ears. And exhale, draw them away. Inhale, bring your shoulders up towards your ears. And exhale, draw them away. One more time, inhale. And exhale. This time we're going to do our whole arms. Inhale, bring your arms up to the sky. And exhale, touch your fingertips down to your mat. Inhale, bring your arms up to the sky. You might even look up towards them. And exhale, bring them down towards the mat. Inhale one more time, arms up to the sky. And arms back down to the mat. This time we're going to be doing a nice gentle twist. So we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to take our right hand to our left knee, our left hand behind our back, and just move with our exhale to twist. We're not trying to force ourselves with our hands to push ourselves into the deepest twist possible. We really just want to do whatever our body is capable of doing just on that exhale. Inhale, bring yourself back to center. Keep length in your spine. You want to draw everything upwards with your spine. Inhale, bring your arms up to the sky, and exhale, we'll do this on the opposite side. So bring your left hand to your right knee, your right hand to the base of your spine, and just a gentle twist. Look over your right shoulder. When you inhale, try to think more about lengthening your spine, and as you exhale, maybe twisting a little bit deeper. Inhale and come back to center. Now we're going to be coming to our tabletop pose. So that is just coming onto your hands and your knees. Your knees should be hip width distance apart. Your hands should be shoulder width distance apart. And you want to really think about stacking your joints here. So bring your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. And that will help you get the most stability. Now we're going to be doing some cat and cow poses. So these are more really awesome spine warm-ups for you. So when you inhale, you're going to drop your belly down towards the ground. Really lift your gaze up to the sky. Push the ground away with your hands. And this is cow pose. On your exhale, you're going to tuck your tailbone, bring your belly button up towards your spine. Arch your back, round your shoulders, push the ground away from you, and bring your chin to your chest. This is cat pose. Inhale, we'll come back to that cow pose, drop the belly, bring your gaze up to the sky, push the ground away. And exhale, tuck your tailbone in, bring your belly button towards your spine, chin to chest. Do this 2 more times on your own. and then come back to a neutral spine. Now we're going to be coming back into a child's pose. This is a pose that you can take many different ways. You can bring your knees out towards the sides of your mat and sit back, and then draw your forehead to your mat. You can keep your legs together and sit back on them this way. You can bring your arms behind you, or if you need some extra help with your knees, you can bring a block underneath your bum so you can sit on it. Child's pose is a resting pose. So if you ever at any point in any yoga practice feel like you need an extra breath, you need some time to yourself, you need to take a little bit of a rest from what's going on in the yoga practice, feel free to take child's pose at any time. This is a great way to reset your breath, to reset your mindset. You're welcome to close your eyes if that feels good. You're welcome to keep them open if it doesn't. Take 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to come back onto all fours in our tabletop pose. Now we're going to come into a downward facing dog. This is a classic yoga pose. It's in very many yoga classes that people lead. But it is a hard pose, so keep that in mind. Be compassionate to your body. Tuck your toes underneath and lift your knees, lift your hips, and bring your hips up and back. You want to focus on having a nice straight back position. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. You don't have to worry about straightening your leg and forcing your body into any sort of pose. You can bend your knees to help keep that spine nice and straight. You can grip the ground to help with the pressure on your wrists. If this is too much for your wrists, you can put blocks underneath your hands, and that can help relieve some of the pressure on your wrists. So there are many options here. Whatever one feels best for you is the one you should take. It doesn't matter what it looks like, it just matters more of how it feels. So people will hold this pose for a few breaths at a time in yoga classes. It is a tough pose. Be compassionate with your body. You're going to lift your right leg up to the sky for 3-legged dog. It doesn't matter. You don't want to try to make your leg go as high as possible. You want to try to keep your legs or your hips parallel to the ground, so nice and flat. So you don't want to do this. You want to do this. And then bring your knee between your hands and bring your hand or your foot down between your hands. And we're in a low lunge. So you can drop your knee here if it feels good. You can keep your knee lifted. If you need some extra cushion under your knee, you can fold your mat over and just provide that extra cushion. Any of these options work. And then we're going to come and face forward. You want to engage your glutes. You want to engage your thigh. You can keep your fingertips on the ground, but you don't want to be putting all of your body weight into your hands and your wrists. So take a nice inhale and exhale. We're going to plant our hands back down on the ground. Inhale and bring your foot back, and we'll be in plank pose for 1 breath. You can drop your knees if it feels better for you here. And lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. You can pedal out your feet, so straightening one leg at a time to stretch out your hamstrings a little bit. And we're going to do this on the same thing on the opposite side. So yoga is about balance. It doesn't matter if you get as deep or as far into a stretch on one side versus the other, but it is important to practice on both sides, just to keep everything nice and balanced. So you're going to lift your left leg up to the sky. Remember to keep those hips nice and parallel. Bring your foot between your hands. You can drop your knee, keep it straight, or fold your yoga mat underneath for some extra support under your knee. And we're just going to inhale look ahead of us. Be light on our fingertips. Engage your glutes. Engage your thigh. And exhale, bring your hands down. Inhale, lift up, and come back into plank pose. You're going to send your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out a little bit more. And then look towards your hands, in between your hands. Bend your knees and slowly step forward towards your hands. Now you are in forward fold. So in forward fold, you want to have your feet about hip width distance apart. If you cannot touch the floor, that is okay. You can be up above the floor. If you want a block under your hands, you can put a block under your hands to help you bring the ground a little bit closer to you. Or you can bend your knees. Bend your knees as much as you need here. You just don't want to round your back too much trying to reach for the floor. Now you're going to come into a flat back position, so you want to have that nice flat back we've been talking about. You can either have your hands on the floor, on your shins, or on your thighs, whichever works best for you. And exhale, come down into a forward fold again. Inhale, roll all the way up, slowly but surely, one vertebrae at a time, into standing pose. So this is standing pose, which is also known as Tadasana or mountain pose. And you can take a nice deep breath here. And exhale. Keep your hands at heart center. And exhale. We're going to come into a little bit of a nice strengthening pose for your legs. This is chair pose. So we're going to be bringing our arms up to the sky on an inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to sink our hips slowly back. You can go as deep as you want. Try to keep your knees behind your toes. And try not to arch your back too much. It won't feel good for your lower back if you're arching your back a whole bunch. Instead, you want to tuck your tailbone in. Engage your core. This is a good core workout. You're engaging your quads, your core. And exhale and fold down into forward fold. We're going to do that one more time. So roll up slowly from forward fold to mountain pose. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, sink down into your hips. Maybe you go a little further this time. Maybe you go to about the same place. And exhale and fold. Inhale, slowly come on up. And come to mountain pose. We're going to work a little bit on some balancing. There are a lot of yoga poses that utilize some balance. And so we're just going to do a little beginner one. What you'll do is you'll shift your weight to your left foot. Slowly, maybe start lifting your other foot off the ground. If you want to just keep your toe on the ground touching, that is okay. If you want to try lifting your foot up, you'll catch your right knee with your hands, squeeze it towards your chest, find a focal point or something so that you can really focus on keeping your balance. And then exhale, inhale, and drop your leg. We'll do that on the other side. So we'll shift our balance to our right foot. Slowly lift your foot up, find a focal point, focus on it, and catch your left knee with your hands. Squeeze it towards your chest. Exhale. And inhale. Bring your foot down to the ground. Next, we're going to be coming into our cool down. So we're just going to lay down onto the floor. Roll back. Bring your knees towards your chest. Hug them in. Roll side to side. Give your lower back a nice little massage. Feel the support of the ground. Lengthen your left foot and draw your right leg over to the left side for a gentle twist. You can look to the opposite side. Come back to center. Switch legs. And twist to the other way. Come back to center. Bring your knees towards your chest. Give a nice big hug. And bring your legs down. So gentle Savasana pose or corpse pose. This will be the pose that we end in today. You're welcome to close your eyes here. Relax your legs. Relax your arms. Feel the support of the ground against your whole body. You're welcome to close your eyes if that feels good for you. Take one last deep inhale. And exhale. Stay here as long as you'd like. Thank you for practicing with me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.